Thanks, Blaine, for that good overview of internal and external forces at Cerner Corporation. We'll move now into the area of key challenges. Uh, this is best set up as a framework from a paper put out by Don Berwick in 2008, where he identified the key issues facing patients in healthcare. He termed this the triple aim, and it's a combination of patient experience, population health, and cost. Any electronic health record must be acutely aware of the impact of triple aim, and this is what's used as a framework for uh, defining the key challenges for Cerner Corporation. The first is interoperability. It is absolutely crucial that this be achieved. This is both within the Cerner Corporation products by itself, as well as to external products such as their competitors. This may seem like a paradox, but it's actually crucial that all these systems integrate well. There's markedly increased governmental scrutiny regarding the area of interoperability, and it's likely that there'll be political action taken if this is not handled within the industry itself. There's also issues about patient safety. As noted by the triple aim, the patient experience of care is critical and includes quality and safety as the key tenets. Lastly, there are stakeholder expectations within the area of interoperability that are critical. These come from providers, hospitals, hospital systems, and patients themselves. The patients, at the very least, would expect that their records be moved from office to office or from an office to the institution so that they can achieve optimal care. The second major challenge is one of external regulation. I alluded to this during the interoperability piece, but there is likely to be a dramatic increase in regulation. There are many governmental mandates around reducing the cost of care, as well as the interoperability piece. There are insurer requirements as well. These are around cost and quality in particular. And there's even the potential for a new category of oversight with the FDA. So far, this has not come into being, however, remains a possibility for all these electronic health records. The third area of challenge is in population health. This has to do with giving appropriate data to providers to help drive better care, as well as to help patients feel empowered and to care for themselves. As we think about which one is likely to be most impactful to Cerner, almost certainly this will be in the area of interoperability. This is due to the areas that I just mentioned. Specifically, we will now address the impacts on Cerner of the interoperability mandate, what reasonable timelines are for achievements, and how the Commonwealth relationship relates to this as well. Commonwealth, just as an overview, is about creating a ubiquitous interoperability between all electronic record systems. This has been led by Cerner, and therefore there is a strong association between Cerner and the Commonwealth Initiative. As we look at these on the impact side, as noted already, there is increased governmental scrutiny and likely to be legislative action as well to force interoperability if the industry does not handle this on their own. There's significant customer dissatisfaction as noted. There's a broad range of stakeholders, including patients, providers, hospitals, and insurers, all of whom expect achievement in the area of interoperability. And lastly, the patient safety impact is absolutely critical, as healthcare is truly about patient safety and quality. In terms of timelines, given the risk of outside scrutiny markedly increasing, it is likely that Cerner will have to demonstrate perfect interoperability among its own systems in different installations throughout the world. This really needs to be accomplished in a 1 to 2 year timeline. The 3 to 4 year timeline comes about in connecting Cerner to outside systems, including all of its major competitors. Lastly, on the Commonwealth Alliance, because of Cerner's real key role in creating the Commonwealth Alliance, they're going to have to adhere to the standards and show leadership in this area. Looking at how we would implement the interoperability piece, it's really best done looking at three specific areas. One, as noted initially, is to demonstrate interoperability within the Cerner sites themselves. This really needs to be in a 1 to 2 year time frame. Second, the adherence to the Commonwealth standards. It would be very beneficial to Cerner to show that they led the effort to do Commonwealth and then adopted it completely themselves. Lastly, there really needs to be a deep focus on Department of Defense contract. Delving a little more deeply in terms of the Cerner sites, the recommendation would be that an interoperability team be created immediately to meet this 1 to 2 year time frame. There must be seamless and complete data movement between the various Cerner sites throughout the world. Where possible, this should be done as what's termed discrete data, meaning data that can be plugged into an EHR and is not just simple prose. Lastly, this needs to integrate with the industry standard HL7 protocols and not deviate. In terms of Commonwealth, again, this should be a theme throughout all efforts that Cerner undertakes. They need to demonstrate leadership. They need to show ongoing commitment to the standard, and even do additional marketing for Commonwealth. This could be a differentiator for them in that a very strong push for complete interoperability would be perceived from all stakeholders as a very positive move. Lastly, in the area of the Department of Defense contract, this is the largest contract that Cerner has ever had. It's just beginning, and because it is a purely governmental contract, will have the potential for extreme oversight, including the GAO, as well as politicians. It's going to be absolutely critical that Cerner meet all of their established deadlines, that they achieve all of the promised functionality in a very seamless way, and be transparent in the process. It's also should be noted that Cerner is partnered with two other companies in the contract, and they must demonstrate excellent ability to work together, problem solve, and be reporting back on a regular basis regarding progress, including barriers as well. As we move towards a general summary, looking at the industry, systems truly must communicate with one another. Electronic health records, such as Cerner's key product, are simply tools to an end. This is really about the safe delivery of high quality care. It's about empowering patients to care for themselves, and very critically about doing this at a reasonable cost. We all know that healthcare costs are spiraling out of control, that the economy cannot support this for much longer, and that changes must happen. Our interoperability is really an absolutely critical piece in reducing waste. Perfect interoperability will lead to far less repeat testing, better transmittal of information between providers, which will allow optimal care for patients. And as noted already, stakeholders essentially are demanding this functionality. As we look at this now specific to Cerner, they do appear to be very well positioned to meet market and regulatory demands. They have historically been very flexible, they're well capitalized, and they're firmly entrenched in the EHR industry. Switching costs within EHR are extraordinarily high, and in general, customers will not get rid of a system unless there is literally a complete disaster. Therefore, it is absolutely critical that all these companies aggressively meet stakeholder demands. As noted, they have their largest contract in history in place. This is a tremendous financial benefit for them. However, it also puts them in the spotlight. this there ends up being a cannot fail proposition. Lastly, they have been true industry leaders in the interoperability initiative. As it is just beginning, they need to make sure that they walk the walk as well as they talk the talk. They must demonstrate their dedication. They must adhere to their own standards and industry standards in doing this. I want to thank the instructors and professors in the course. Both Blaine and I have enjoyed this tremendously, and looking at a corporation in such detail. Should be note that the last two slides contain references, and if anyone wishes to access these, we're happy to forward them. Thank you.